So speaking in the lines of of being someone's spouse, so there's this woman that took it upon herself to go on Jesse Lee Peterson's show, which honestly, I don't. Some people are just crazy enough to do such a thing. If they don't want the heat, if they don't like the heat, I don't know why they go on these podcasts, especially with Jesse Lee Peterson. But there's a lot of interestingness from a man's perspective. Let me not even say that she's 100% wrong, because everybody's entitled to what they think and how they feel and how they want to go about their life. That's absolutely fine. I personally would not want to be her husband. That's just me. That's just me personally. But let's go ahead and see what Homegirl is talking about.
Women, particularly, are the most educated demographic of people in the whole country. In 2023, that's an improvement, because there were times where we weren't even allowed to go to school prior to, certain things being protected.
When were you not allowed to go to school? There were
women.
As a result of desegregation, they were creating black universities and things like that, which brought out the best in blacks then. And then the education that they were getting is much better than the education they're getting out of black schools, because, how black folks are, they don't care. But the education was no good. And if you notice, the black women who are getting the so-called education, it's putting them on a false pedestal. And they think they're better than everybody. Now they're lonely, they're lost, they're angry, and nobody want to deal with them. So they got worse rather than getting better.
I completely disagree.
But educated women don't make for good wives and good mothers.
I completely disagree with that.
Why is that?
It's just not true. It's sexist. It's a lot of misogyny in there, and it's just not true.
What's not true about that?
Why does education stop you from being a good mother?
Because a woman that's educated, she thinks she's equal to a man. Because a woman that's educated thinks that she should work and not be at home raising his children and clean, keep the house going and things like that. And educated women don't care about the children. They're going to throw them off in a daycare center just so they can get their ego fulfillment. So they don't really make for good wives and good mother.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. My mother was very educated. She went to school. She raised me well. So now I, too, have a master's degree. I have my pick of the litter. There are plenty of men that want me. I can guarantee you that. And I have my own business, so it works.
But not
Are you saying that women who have an education can't raise their kids?
Right.
Why?
Because they on an ego trip. They try to go to prove that they're like a man.
Who raised?
Well, why get married if you don't love your husband, your children enough to stay home and watch over his children?
I don't even want children, so
you don't want children?
I'm be married with my husband, traveling the world, and live my best life.
So why get married then?
I was raised by a married woman.
But she didn't stay home.
So?
Right? She didn't stay home and raise you. I rest my case. You get divorced while you were young?
Yeah.
While you were still living at home?
Correct.
Oh, I thought you said you were raised by both parents.
For a little bit. Then I got
So
divorced.
you weren't raised by both parents. See, I told you, educated women don't make for good wives and good mother. And now you're an adult. If you got married, number one, you're not going to obey your husband. Number two, you don't want to have children. There's no reason to get married.
To you.
Because you can party by yourself like that. You have friends, and you can take your male friends with you and everything.
To you.
Isn't that right? Since she got married, she should obey her husband and stay home and raise his children.
I believe she should do whatever she wants. That's what I believe.
And not what he wants.
Correct.
What do you believe? Do you personally believe that a woman should obey her husband?
I don't like the word obey.
You don't like the word obey, you say?
Yeah, obey sounds, again, I believe women are equal to men, so we're just going to disagree on that.
And so what's wrong with the word obey?
Because obey sounds like an authority.
It is.
And I
a
don't
dictator.
Yeah, and my husband
And being
should not
supposed
be
to
a dictator.
dictate in the home.
Completely disagree.
Really?
Yeah, so
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I grew up Christian.
Well, Christ said that a woman should obey her husband. Was he wrong too?
Sure.
Christ was wrong?
Yeah.
The God you believe in was wrong when he said that.
Sure.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Amazing. This guy kills me with that, yo. Oh gosh, kills me with that every time. Him and his amazing.
Nah, I'm gonna let you talk on this one.
Oh, what? I was all right. So, so as we were watching it this time, I was trying to kind of get a difference because we're in America. We have definitions for just about every single word. Whereas to Haiti, we don't have definitions for every single word. There's a lot of words that just clumped up together and stuff like that. So I'm listening and I'm hearing they're talking about, and well, I mean, of course, the conversation, the big situation that was like a real turnoff was the fact that she said that God and Jesus was wrong in regards to a man submitting. I mean, we could say submit, obey, but the text says to submit, for women to submit to their husbands. Actually, let's just go ahead and bring that up really quick. And we're just going to bring up the whole section. So it's going to be Ephesians 5, Let me see. Where did I have here? Ephesians 5:20 to 31. Now, we're going to get to the relation in with the verse in a second. I mean, we kind of already did just for that. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with that last part since we're already here. Um I love bringing this verse up because that word submit, bro, that talk about turning females' heads, man. I just love doing it every single time. And the crazy thing is, I know some females that, which is crazy, before they got married, this term submit was like the word that they hated the most. But then they got married to somebody that they truly love, and then they found themselves doing things for their husband that they would have never thought. If you asked them 10 years prior, they would have been like, oh, nah, that is not
Nah.
me. Ain't no way. But they got married. They're truly in love and they love their spouse. And now they're doing all these different things. The level of submission that she has for her husband, which is great. And I love that she's made the shift because I'm not even going to hold you, girl. I ain't know if you was going to get married the way you was talking. You was talking some reckless stuff. I just got to say. But in regards to this woman, that's kind of crazy that her mindset, that she just blatantly says that, yeah, Christ is wrong. God was wrong. The Bible was essentially wrong in regards to this. Her mindset is that she's a female. She could be independent and do what she was. She's a bad bee all by herself. That's what. Do they still say that? That's still a thing.
I don't even know. I'm married, bro. And I know
So
my wife can't be bad by herself. I'm going to say it
so
proud and loud.
that is okay. So with that in mind, the thing that I was trying to think of before, or coming to the realization of, is there a difference between an independent woman and an educated woman, in your opinion?
Independent and educated. Okay, so since we're picking out those two words, let's break them down.
All right.
Okay, educated means what?
To me, as she stated, she went to school, she went to college, she got a master's. So that is educated.
Okay,
Generally, she's smart. She probably reads several books, not the one or two every 3 years like some people, or one every 15 years like some people, like most people. But she probably has a different thought process because of her education, and allows her to excel in, I don't know, various things. We'll go with
okay.
that. Mhm.
In what?
Mon cher, on va connaître, oui.
You're educated And okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I say I'm educated
Mm-hmm.
and I make T-shirts, I make mugs, I make stuff like that, you would say I'm educated in what?
Graphic design.
She kept on saying educated, educated, but she ain't saying what.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you're on an operation table.
Yep.
The person about to cut you open says, I'm educated.
I got this. I'm educated. Don't worry, I got you. I'm educated.
And what?
I'm a foot doctor.
Well, I used to play operations.
I used to play operations. Is crazy.
I'm getting off that table.
That is crazy.
I'm getting off that table. You played operation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many oops?
Bro, to this day,
And once that
still ain't
thing
got no
hit the
steady hand.
side and buzz, what do you happen to do? Drop
You dropped
whatever you picked up back. Could you imagine?
that.
You on the operating table. Somebody said they're educated.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, well, he probably did this surgery multiple times, saved countless lives. And this person tells you, I've played operation when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And that I forgot what verse that says this. When it says, lean not to your own understanding.
Understanding.
Just because
Mm-hmm.
you're educated doesn't mean you're capable.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I might take a shot at
Mm.
some competitors of mine out there.
Yeah, yeah.
As a graphic designer, I love when people say, I use Canva.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's nice. I use ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You know how to type, you know how to read. That's good. You want to know where most of the time I know they're not capable?
Right.
I work where we print designs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like if you take a look at the Tumblr I gave you,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to tell if it's pixelated
Yeah.
or if it's of a high resolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one would you rather me give to you?
The high res.
Now, does it matter if I use Canva? Does it matter if I use ChatGPT,
Just give me that high res,
Kindle,
bro.
all that other stuff out there?
I could
Yeah,
give two flips. What you
you're
use?
educated,
Mm-hmm.
but are you capable?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much black women educated. Okay, cool. That's in what?
What? What you doing?
Because yeah, you could flip a book,
Mm-hmm.
you could type on a computer, you could write a couple of essays. Yes, you graduated. Congratulations. What happened after? After graduation, is anybody looking for you? Like, oh my gosh, we have to get her. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not downplaying the young lady. I don't know her.
Yep.
But the fact that you said that the all knowing was wrong proves that you're not educated.
And you
Because
follow,
an
and
educated
you're following
person
the
would
faith.
know that God can't be wrong.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she kind of caught that. Maybe she understands that she may be a little rocky in the faith. Because she said that she grew up Christian, but wasn't like,
No, that's
yeah,
not what it was. I think we both saw what it was. Here, let me give you an example. And look, like I said, this is just my
hmm
example, my perspective.
hmm
Whenever I hear somebody start talking like this, and they, no, no, yep, yep, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. I completely
sheesh.
disagree. With what?
What you disagreeing with?
An educated person would say, I disagree with this
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not
Yeah.
going left because I'm going right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not standing up because I'm sitting down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Educated person is able to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
clarify,
Mm-hmm.
and anything that needs explanation. We don't know what you're educated in.
Mm-hmm.
We clearly see you not understanding anything, because how are you saying the all knowing is wrong?
Yeah. 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 And you're talking about the faith. She was better off just saying she wasn't Christian. At least at that point, that would have been like, all right, well, if you don't believe the guy and you don't think he knows everything, that's up to you. But yeah, nah, that's wild, man. That's wild. So like,
It
when it
was an
comes,
ego trip.
yeah,
What is it? What's the name? Jesse?
hmm
Yeah, it's an ego trip. She's still on that trip. Because I'm educated, you can't tell me I'm wrong. You can't tell me this. I don't care who. I don't care what. Yeah.
so do you think that Jesse had a point when when he kind of had his check mark moment when she was talking about how she was educated, she went through school and stuff like that, and then her mom was educated and got her through all that. And then when he's asking, "Okay, how were you raised?" She was like, "Oh, in a single household." I mean, she had her dad, I guess, for a bit, but then I'm guessing they ended up splitting up. And then he was like, "All right, well then that proves my point. You think you think he was right?"
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, I think one thing we've come to realize as people of, I don't want to say of this generation, let's just say nowadays,
hmm
the more you talk, the most likely you're going to say something stupid.
Yeah, seen that a lot.
Like, you see how we're talking?
hmm
I keep things as short and simple because, one, I need you to understand what I understand. Not necessarily agree, but at least I communicated clearly where, like, no, yes.
hmm
But if I'm like, huh? No.
So, that being said, the whole topic was in regards to, again, marriage and the idea of marriage and independence. Do you think there's a balance between, and I don't know why they use independence. You think there's a balance between independence and partnership?
Independence from to.
Uh, I guess, yeah, you're right.
Because if you're trying to be independent, that means you're
hmm
chained to something
hmm
and you're trying to get to something else.
Okay.
Okay, let's say Haitian independence.
hmm
Okay, slavery, free country.
Right.
That's the, because independence is not a title; it's a transition.
hmm hmm hmm
You come from one which made you dependent,
Yeah.
and you're going to something else where
What
you're
is,
not depending.
right.
So if there's no transition, I'm independent. Okay, from what? From that man. To what?
Something you doing your own thing, I guess. I don't know.
To what? Because all these things, if I have to ask questions, that
hmm
means you didn't communicate your thought complete.
Yep.
Educated in what? Independent from what to what?
hmm hmm Yep. Crazy,
They
man.
just simply put.
So she mentioned that when Jesse was asking about, doing what the in regards to the whole obey but submit situation, and she says that she feels like the wife should do what she wants and not what the husband wants. My question is, and I've done this before in regards to the LGBTQ and marriage as well. What is the whole purpose of marriage if you're just going to disregard what the scripture says? Why get married at that point? Cause I be wondering. I'm
Well,
like, we could just shack up. We ain't gotta be on paper if we're not worried about our covenant before the Lord. Then at that point, it's just a matter of, like people say, just a piece of paper that binds us together and how we file our taxes and all that stuff. Why marriage then? Why do people feel the need to be married and not have kids?
all right. Simple answer again. Most people just want the title
Just want the title.
of being married.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a sense of, hey, I belong.
To someone while being independent.
I can't tell you belong to what. Belong
Mm-hmm.
to him, belong to them, belong to a concept, belong to a respectful uh, standard.
Mm-hmm.
Most people want to be married for the title,
Mm-hmm.
to belong to something. Like you just said, oh, because I'm married, they're going to look at me, with the taxes. Oh, because I'm married, my family is going to look at me, oh, you've climbed some kind of status with us now. The fact that you could get into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, it doesn't work because some people, they don't get that sense of belong.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I don't like him anymore because I don't belong in this type of poverty. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't belong in this low status.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't belong in, because marriage, how would I say this without, saying too much offense?
Saying anything stupid.
No, because
Offend. It's so if it's truth, then
it's not so
it's
much truth, because there's certain people, it will trigger them.
okay.
Okay, it will trigger them, especially if you're divorced and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because when most of us look at marriage, for
Mm-hmm.
example, anybody that's in the faith is like, okay, this is God ordained. God brought this together.
Okay. Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now, when you're not married anymore,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
well, I guess I don't belong to the faith no more. I don't belong to this
Mm-hmm.
community anymore. I don't belong to this status, this mindset, this perspective of me.
Because this man was supposed to be from God. This marriage was supposed to be ordained by God. I put everything into it because
And
it's
you know
from
what you're low key saying? Let's go back to the first marriage.
God.
God, the woman you put next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever notice that Eve never said the husband that you put next to me? She blamed something outside the relationship. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh man.
So yeah, marriage is a whole concept of belonging. And most people think because I should belong, I should feel like I belong. This is how I should go. This is how everybody in this marriage should be. Here's
Mm-hmm.
how I should be feeling. Here's what I should get out of it. Instead of, okay, I have my perspective. This person has their perspective too. But Like I said, most of the time people go into marriage, my belonging, my sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm. It's always me, my, and I. It's
Yep.
always me, my, and I. Wow. It's crazy videos, man. I appreciate you sending those videos to me and us being able to tackle them and get some perspective on the views. As always, we're here to find the truth, seek understanding, which we're getting some understanding of Ark and myself and seeing these videos. So it's definitely been a pleasure, Ark. I appreciate you dearly. I'm gonna have a link in the description with Ark's information if you guys need any type of designs, t-shirts, shirts, mugs. He has holiday stuff that he throws out there. Go ahead and hit him up and check him out. As always, guys, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.